I'm a lost 25-year-old Filipino small business owner, and I'm loving it.
They ask you how you are, you just have to say that you're fine.
Welcome back, everybody. It's Sarah, and today we're going to be doing a video about me and kind of why I started Kilig Ko. I think I started embroidering maybe in 2020 when the pandemic happened. I think that's also where a lot of small business owners just picked up random hobbies. And so for me, I was scrolling on TikTok and I saw somebody, they were embroidering clothes and I was like, oh my God, I want to do that. And so it was actually a Christmas gift from my brother. And so he paid a portion of it. And so that's when I was able to get a Brother PE800. And that's where I kind of started dabbling in embroidery. I would be selling my drawings, things like that. And so at the time, these Nike vintage sweaters, everybody just wanted to get them. And so because I had an embroidery machine, I found the design online and I made a bunch of Nike designs. So the machine was able to pay for itself through the profits from selling these Nike sweaters. But I knew that one couldn't have been a business because Nike is sometimes specific about their logo and stuff. I also did a bunch of other random customs too. And so people had me do it for anniversaries, matching sweaters, for the schools that they're going to. I would make custom ones for that. And then because I also had a Cricut to make the stickers, I also did other heat press shirts too. And so that's kind of where I was okay, I could keep creating customs and maybe this is, what I want to try out. And then after I graduated, it kind of fell off. And I think I was doing so many orders of things that weren't my own designs that I got so tired of it that I just stopped completely and shut it down. I was just a robot because I was just doing all these other people's designs. And so I wanted to have something a bit more fulfilling. And so at the time, and I guess even now still, I work at a Filipino media company. And I think that's where I've learned the most about my Filipino heritage, at least. Because growing up, my family just wanted me to assimilate. So they didn't teach me Tagalog. The most I had was eating Filipino food. But it wasn't until college where I actually found a community and was able to kind of learn about my culture more. And then even through the work that I do right now at my full time, I've been able to learn a lot more things, and I wanted to kind of do something like that with my clothing brand because it's something that I care about and something that I want to continue learning. And so that's why each design is inspired by some type of aspect for somebody to either learn about or feel empowered by. Because I started doing this again back in 2023, but again, all of that was pretty under the table because I didn't know if I was gonna be serious about it. But now I'm pretty serious because I'm making this video, so yeah. As a small business owner, I don't have a legal team. I am the legal team. The designs that I have to do, technically it's possible that anybody can steal them because I'm so small. And so something that a friend had recommended for me to do is actually copyright or trademark some of my designs. But it's possible that all the designs can be totally ripped off from me if they already copyright and trademark it and things like that. At the same time that I want these to be successful and go viral, I'm okay, I'm also scared of the fact that because I'm so small, one thing that has been pretty fulfilling for me, going to these events or these pop-ups, especially for my first time, the community of small business owners has been very supportive. Just going to my first event last week, it was just so nice to be able to ask people for tips along the way and just them sharing their experiences and what they learned and everything. I think that's something that's been really great and that I'm very thankful for. With the content that I'm putting out, most of the clothes have self-love or some type of educational aspect to it. And so it was nice that people will message me and actually say that oh, the work that you're doing is impactful and I appreciate all the content that you're doing. And so I think that's pretty fulfilling for me, especially as a small business owner where I'm doing everything myself. I get so caught up in the work that I'm oh, is this even worth it and stuff. To see this all come from an idea to now growing a community of Instagram. I'm almost to 1,000 followers. So I think that alone is already a success in itself because I was I remember when I had no followers at all and I was getting 0 likes, so I had to like it on my personal accounts and stuff like that. So it's cool to post something organically and get 100 likes just cause. I think that's really cool. And I'm hoping to do more collabs with other artists or other small business owners. Now I want to actually do a more strategized approach for both the actual creation of the designs and the actual launch and marketing campaign for it. So my brand is technically a Filipino clothing brand, but I think that it's something that anybody can get behind because at the end of the day, it's about self-love and even just like, you know, being open and learning about like somebody else's culture, even if you're not like Filipino. And so I think that's the cool part. And also with like Filipino representation, I don't think that we get enough of it. I think we oftentimes get grouped into like, you know, Asian Americans or things like that. And so I think it's important to be able to, you know, be specific and have like, you know, a Filipino clothing brand. If you go to, you know, like 626 and everything like that, or like night markets, I will look around and every time I see a specific Filipino like vendor, I'll always like be sure to go up and like look at the items that they have, because like for even 626, I think a lot of like the vendors are actually just like Asian in general. And so I think I'm pretty grateful to also, you know, be at a point where there are specific, you know, Filipino like festivals or Philippine markets and stuff to be able to connect more with like the Filipino American audience. Thank you everybody for watching this video. Please be sure to like and subscribe and let me know if you have any questions that you want me to answer or if you have any tips for me. Thank you everybody, and don't forget to feel kilig for yourself.